everyone! Welcome back to #NoFilter. And as we've said last week, meron tayong bagong series. So, we're gonna focus on the Catholic social teachings of the Church. And gagawin natin siyang timely. So, alam natin na malapit na ang ating 121st anniversary ng independence of the Philippines. So, dito sa Bukal ng Tipan Online, we are starting the new series entitled KKK. And makakasama ko ang aking partner sa season na to, si Father Rene. Hi, Father! Greet naman po kayo sa viewers natin.
Hello, Chris!
Kamusta po?
Magandang araw sa ating lahat. Mabuti naman.
Yun. So, parang excited na ba kayo? Madami po tayong pag-usapan. Ayan.
Excited na ako matuto.
Yes. So, habang nag-share tayo, meron din tayo natututunan. Totoo nga naman yan. So, isa sa mga pinakamalalaking issue ngayon sa bansa natin, yung pagpapatakbo ng government and yung kung ano-ano pang mga bagay. So, I think, mas maganda mabalikan natin kung ano talaga yung meaning ng KKK. And we chose one video na fun panoorin at the same time nag-explain kung ano yung KKK. Para medyo balikan muna natin yung saan ba siya galing bago natin siya pag-usapan. Alright? So, let's check out.
Mikey, aren't Filipinos practically Spanish? Excuse me? Well, you have a Spanish last name. Oh yes, Spanish royalty. Bustos, Duke of Spain. I mean, no prank, Filipinos are not a kind of Spanish. Ow. In fact, check out our Philippine heroes. I'm Lapu-Lapu, machete na guapo, bold and a king, so they call me Datu. Who is that I see talking to our fellow tribesmen? Ferdinand Magellan and his men from Spain, teaching the religion Catholic, Roman. I'm now like Spanish. Nulla Bisayan! That's the way it war on Ferdinand's men. Let's kill him with our weapons here in Mach 10. Jose Protasio Rizal, Mercado y Alonso Rialonda. Jose Rizal, almost 4 centuries still ruled by the Spanish. We're executing you, cause I'm anti-colonial. You're no limit, el filibusterismo, Poms cast rebellion against Spain. Oops, did I start a Spanish revolution? Ready? Consumatum est. Aim! We are the revolution, KKK. Rizal, your death won't go in vain. I'm Andres Bonifacio, Republic Tagalog, President na great plebeian, co-founder and supremo of the Katipunan, the father of the Philippine Revolution. A secret society of Filipino militants, hopes for a Philippines free from Spain. I'm Marcela Agoncillo Simstes. I'm in Hong Kong to escape the stress. Then General Emilio Aguinaldo requested to sew a flag that best represented the Philippines. Look, oh, isn't it 20? A sun, 3 stars, there's blue and red. In accordance to General Aguinaldo's design, I'm mother of the Philippine flag, okay? Apollinario Mabini, first Prime Minister of the Philippines. Hooray, we're free! Brains of the revolution, now working government despite losing my legs to polio disease. I'm an American, we'll show you burgers. Get rid of siestas and re-educate. Talk to the hand, what next? Let me guess, you wanna make Philippines a US state? General Luna, born in Manila, even if I am an Ilocano. Filipino general, fought in the Philippine-American War. Let me intro you to the Black Guard, Luna sharpshooters, the Luna defense line. They're like wall with military science. I train these men to catch Americans like Pokemon Go. So you see, Frank, we Filipinos are not Spanish, we're not like Americans, we're not like anybody. We are our own people, independent and free. We have heroes to thank for that, and we cannot forget how we became the Philippines. Oh, that's kinda cool, Mikey. And don't ever forget it.
Okay, nandito tayo ngayon sa second season ng ating #NoFilter. Sa bagong KKK, ang gusto nating pag-usapan ay isang kulturang Kristiyano tungo sa pakikipag-Kapwa. Isang pagpapalalim sa Catholic social teaching o mga turong panlipunan ng simbahang Katolika na naglalaman ng panindigan natin tungo sa isang lipunang makadiyos, makatao, makabayan at makalikasan.
Taray talaga, no? Very, very timely yung ating pag-uusapan. And ngayong araw, ngayong episode, yung pag-uusapan natin, introduction sa ating KKK at Catholic social teaching. Kasi hindi natin biglang pwedeng biglain yung mga tao. So, medyo transition natin to, no? So, ito yung parang mag-foundation sa atin. So, inimbitahan natin ang isang bagong bayani at propeta sa ngayong, bayani at propeta sa ngayong, sa ngayon ay magbabahagi ng kanyang karanasan at yung conviction niya sa kulturang Kristiyano. Pakilala mo naman, Father.
Okay, Grace, pakilala ko si Brother Tagoy Jacusalin.
Hi, brother.
Ay isang brother. Si Brother Tagoy. Welcome, brother. Okay? Isa siyang religyoso. He belongs to the Order of the Agustinian Recoletos. He's a visual artist and a sustainability educator and has been working in various social advocacies, among them the Green Heart Heritage, helping families who were affected by the Typhoon Haiyan. At he is now based in Madrid, no, for the international social action activities ng Recoletos. And I think 2014, he was also sent to Sierra Leone as responder for the Ebola pandemic, no? Epidemic sa West Africa. Okay?
Ang galing naman
So,
pala.
welcome, Brother Tagoy.
Welcome, brother. Bati naman po kayo sa ating viewers.
Hello sa ating lahat. Welcome to this activity, enriching our knowledge of the Catholic faith, not only in doctrine but in experience and at the integral life of the Church.
So, brother, na-mention niyo po kanina, no, ito yung pagpapalalim natin, not just in doctrine, but also in action. And na-mention kayo na sa introduction na sobrang dami niyo na pong experience. So, curious lang po, what's your story? How did you become so passionate about the social concerns right now?
My story is, I am from Negros Occidental, and I am from that island, Negros, exposed to the reality of poverty and injustice of the islands. And I belong also to a poor family. I was influenced by my father, who was an active community organizer and has a heart for the poor. My years in the seminary enabled me to read, discern, and actively participate my role as messenger of social justice. And from there, from my formation until I was assigned into the social ministry, I was tasked in the leadership role of the Recoletos to organize and manage our Justice, Peace, and Integrity of Creation office. Our passion for social concerns is rooted in the realities of injustice. Christ showed us the better way to address these issues. As long as injustices remain, we will continue, the Church will continue serving the poor.
So, brother, na-mention yun, as long as injustice remains, we will continue to serve the poor. Pero do you think the Church has been successful in imparting the Catholic social teachings so far?
I think the Church is successful because the Church did not fail us in providing the framework of Catholic social teachings, providing us approaches to conquer social injustices through the richness of papal, conciliar, and church teaching documents. And lately we have the Laudato Si encyclical of Pope Francis, giving us a better approach to address not only environmental issue, but also social issues. And from the faith response of the Church, we are analyzing this injustice, social structures to specific issues. And I would like to point out that we have the Catholic social teachings, we have a guide to be able to imbibe the Catholic social teachings. And I would like to borrow the framework of the U.S. Catholic Bishops' Conference. They have seven keys to analyze these Catholic social teachings. First,
The dignity.
Life and dignity of the human person. The respect for life, consistent ethic for life. Then second, call to family, community, and participation. And as a Christian community, as a Catholic community, we have the richness of this response. Then the rights and responsibilities, very very appropriate in the current issues. No, our human rights is being challenged. The number of deaths with these extrajudicial killings, no, the NGK. We have the rights and responsibilities should be our key to be able to successfully not just criticize the government, but to give our Christian message that this is wrong, this is morally wrong, that we are abusing the basic human right. Then the option for the poor and vulnerable. The Philippine Church in the PCP2 is really a church for the poor, no? Our option for the poor, and the way we help the poor is rooted in our Christian identity. And the dignity of work and the right of workers. Very relevant also
Very
because
timely.
like how do we approach our employees, our fellow workers in the offices, in the factories, all these things. The church is on their side. We must remember that one. And the church must never abandon the workers among our in our society. Then solidarity. In this COVID crisis, Pope Francis said the cure of this COVID is no other than solidarity, the best cure. And lastly, for God's creation, we need to answer the cry of the poor and the cry of the earth. And Laudato Si enables us to embrace our role as co-creators of God, as responders of hearing the cry of the earth and the cry of the poor. But as you said, how successful is the church? But the church, we still miss the important aspect of the Catholic social teachings. We fail to maximize Catholic social teaching as a tool for our GPIC advocacy of our social ministry. This is our work as pastors, animators, and formators of CST. We better integrate CST in our solidarity campaigns and in our social advocacy. And Pope Francis said, does the social apostolate exist to solve problems? Yes, but above all to promote processes and to encourage hope. Processes that help people and communities to grow, that lead us to awareness of their rights, to deploy their skills, and to create their own future.
Okay, Brother Tagoy, napakaganda yung explanation ninyo, no, tungkol sa the foundations, the basic principles of the Catholic social teaching. Tapos sa ating pagtuturo din ng CST dito sa Mary Hill School of Theology, tapos nagbibigay ako ng mga sessions. Karamihan sa kahit mga seminarista, minsan tanong nila, narinig na namin, pero ang tanong nila, how to put it into practice. Tapos naman, marami naman ako mga taong nasalamuha na hindi nila alam na yung ginagawa nila ay related do pala sa Catholic social teaching. No? So, mga ginagawa nila. So, isang tanong siguro para sa inyo, brother, na ano pa ba ang dapat nating gawin bilang taong simbahan that yung naka-imbibe sa ating identity na itong ginagawa ko ay bahagi ng aking identity as a Catholic, as a Christian, at ito din ang nagdala sa akin sa paggawa para sa kabutihan para sa aking kapwa. Meron pa kaya tayong pwede pang may pala gawin? Paano ba natin i-promote sa mga kabataan parang hirap?
Ang buhay Kristiyano, buhay Katoliko ay buhay na mismong buhay ni Kristo, no? Integrated into the life or realities of the people. Ibinahagi ng Diyos sa atin ang kahalagahan ng kanyang misyon sa mundo, ito ay misyon din natin. Mahirap may maunawaan ito ng ating komunidad, no, ng ating mga Katoliko, kung patuloy tayong naniniwala na ang buhay Kristiyano ay hanggang simbahan lamang, no? Hanggang struktura lamang. O ang simbahan hanggang sa pagtuturo lamang ng Biblia o katisismo o doktrina. But the church life is integral in the life of the people, of the society. Kaya importante yung integral faith formation or transformation. And very essential sa PCP2 document is the social transformation, the role of the church in the social transformation. And siguro, na-mention ni Father Rene kanina na yung C-Judge Act, no? Meron tayong process na maganda na, framework na maganda na. And siguro, ang pinaka-practical is yung immersion na tinatawag, no? After giving formation to young people, it must necessarily be students or young people must be involved into immersion, like experiencing the life of the poor, no? Being immersed in the situation. And I think that's the best tool.
Brother, I really agree yung sinasabi ninyong immersion, lalo na sa mga formations natin sa parokya, kahit sa seminary, no? Yung kasi nabablock tayo as a Catholic, as Christians, na hanggang charity na lang tayo, yung para bang tutulong, but we don't go beyond charity, which is yung binanggit ninyo, yung social transformation, na matulungan ng tao, paano niya tutulungan ang kanyang sarili, dahil there is no dignity in living in charity in the whole of their lives. No? Dapat transitional lang siguro ang charity, then they could really stand by their own. Siguro ito yung challenge natin sa simbahan, dahil sa immersion, you are going to touch, to see the face of the people that you would like to help. Kaya dito sa simbahan...
Question po sa inyo ni brother, especially ngayon sa context natin, bilang parang na-limit tayo sa physical distance, na kailangan hindi tayo nakikita-kita, hindi tayo magkakasama kasi delikado. Paano natin magagawa yung social transformation?
Good question.
Good
So, parang
question.
it should not stop, diba? So it's like a lifestyle na for us. It's always integral to our faith. Pero how do we do it at a time like this?
Meron naman tayong mga platforms, no? Like social media platform.
Yes.
And on my end, for example, I make it a point even putting in messages not only of hope, but even messages inciting people to act like making them participate in a work of charity, no? Putting in messages of hope, of like there are good messages from Pope Francis during the duration of the COVID crisis, and this will become an inspiration to others, no? Like we have in Cebu, for example, we have set up a campaign, and in Bacolod, a campaign to address the COVID by organizing a kindness bakery. And in that sense, even in the midst of the pandemic, people were able to participate, not only donations, but identifying areas where to help, no? There is a community in Bacolod needs something during the crisis. There are many ways, and I think young people are creative on this. And we have seen the church doing great things better than the government during this COVID.
Agreed! Gusto ko yung nasabi na maraming available talaga, no? Madami tayong documents, madami tayong doctrines, and marami na rin nangyayari, naging action. Pero tignan nga natin kung alam ng kabataan kung ano ang Catholic social teaching talaga. So meron tayong video of interviewing you. Tignan natin ito.
Good morning. Kabalo ka ng sa CST?
Hindi.
Wala, agad ka kabalumini.
Okay.
Day, good morning. At kabalo ka ng sa CST? CST?
And right now, we are proposing here in Bukal ng Tipan na gawin nating bagong KKK yung CST. Kumbaga, ito na yung makabago, yung innovative KKK for the Philippines kasi nga nakita natin integral siya, lifestyle siya, isang kulturang Kristiyano ng pakikipagkapwa. Ano po yung thoughts niyo dito, brother?
Ang kultura po ay isang identity, no? Culture is identity. Like, I am a Filipino, not only that I am brown, not only that I speak the language of many Filipinos, but I am a Filipino because I am born as a Filipino, and maraming aspects ng kulturang Pilipino, mapagbigay, nakikisama, nakikibahagi sa buhay. Ito namang CST ay isang identity ng every Christian. And this is a Catholic identity. And even in the history of the church, what makes a Christian community different from other culture is that it is rooted in service, rooted in generosity. And CST as our Catholic identity is, hindi siya separated sa buhay ng ating pagiging Katoliko. Automatic na sa atin na maging mapagbigay, na gusto magserbisyo, na nandoon tumutulong sa mga nangangailangan. As I said earlier, during this pandemic, the church becomes relevant in the face of the crisis. As many government institutions failed, not only in the Philippines but in other countries, the church is automatically responding, providing services and the basic necessities of the poor. And I would like to quote Pope Francis, and he is always telling us that the mark of Christian identity is solidarity. And this is Catholic social teaching. And he said, Jesus had nowhere to lay his head. Dedicated as he was to preaching the gospel of the kingdom and to healing every disease and every infirmity, today his spirit, alive amongst us, impels us to follow him in the service of the crucified people of our time.
Mm-hmm.
This is our Christian identity. This is our CST identity. We are in the midst of the crucified people of God, and we are even part of the crucified people of God. And CST mandates us to be in solidarity with those who are poor, with those who are suffering.
Napakaganda yung sinabi ni Brother Tagoy na umpisahan na niya nagkwento tungkol sa kultura. No, brother, if you'd like to cultivate a culture within or among the young people today as Christians, ano pong suggestion niyo na maibigay niyo sa amin?
Ang pag-cultivate ng isang culture ay isang life learning activity, no? Like as Filipinos, we realize our culture through the teachings of our parents. It starts in the family, and basically even the way we eat, the way we like is rooted in our being a Filipino, and it's a cultural. And integrating this in the aspect of our Christian life is, we should never get tired of teaching, of preaching, and imparting the social ministry of the church. And in the framework of church teaching, the church is always insistent on integral faith formation, integrating in our faith the Catholic social teaching. Our task then as teachers or formators is to make sure that we are imparting the right method and process of the CST, allowing young people and even ourselves to read, to discern, and live CST in the framework of See, Judge, Act. And we should never make it solely as a lecture series, but allow immersion, integration of the CST in actual situations, fomenting participatory action among young people or among our students. And I would like to quote Pope Francis in Laudato Si when he concluded his saying on ecological education. We grow in solidarity, responsibility, and compassionate care. And 3 words: solidarity, responsibility, and care. We should remember those 3 things. And for us, formators or animators, our role does not stop in the classroom. We have a bigger classroom. No? Now, our platform, the online platform, is giving us resources, and there's a way that we animate young people to share and be able to live these resources regarding Catholic social teachings.
So, ang dami, ang rich ng conversation natin in a way na alam natin na hindi natatapos sa classroom ang teachings of the church at integral nga siya. Ulit-ulit ang sabing integral siya sa faith, integral siya sa life. It's a lifestyle na even merong pandemic, kaya natin i-animate. So, this is a call na ang dami-dami natin reklamo sa gobyerno, ang dami natin reklamo sa pagkukulang, pero what are we doing? Meron tayong Catholic social teaching na pwede mag-guide sa atin kung ano yung pwede natin gawin. And it's very rich and it's very beautiful. And later on, papalalimin pa natin siya. So, brother, maraming salamat po sa paunang pagpapalalim. Thank you for sharing.
Salamat, brother.
And your suggestions. Very well noted. So everybody, we hope to see you in our KKK series. Hindi pa nagtatapos dito yan. Marami pa tayong pag-uusapan and we want to create a culture. We want to start a revolution na embodied in the Catholic social teachings of the church. So, Father Rene, can you excite us more? Ano pang
bago tayong magtapos sa ating introductory session, nice kong i-introduce yung ating programa, no? So, it will be divided into 7 weeks and based on the principles of the Catholic social teaching. Gaya sa next week, we will enter into the life and the dignity of the human person at i-integrate na rin natin ang rights and responsibility. So in every week, it is divided into 3. Meron tayong tinatawag na yung vlog, no? Meron tayong mga responders from the field that they will present the social context, the reality of our people, on how they are affected and how they suffer because of all this social reality around us. At paano ba sinagot ng simbahan? So yung sa vlog lang yan, yung seeing part, ipapakita natin kung ano ang katotohanan, ano ang mga social realities na ang totoong buhay ng mga tao ngayon. Then yung pangalawa, yung tinatawag natin na listen to the stories, to the prophets and witnesses on the ground. Siguro yung mga taong meron na silang mga personal and group initiative on how to respond to the social suffering of the people. So, meron tayong mga individual or mga associations that they will come to share kung ano ba ang kanilang mga naumpisahan. It's a nice way also to be motivated, animated, or learn from them if we have some questions. Tapos yung panghuli is Love in Action, yung webinar. After we see the reality, after we hear from people from their concrete action, ano ba ang pwede nating gawin on our part? Or sa ating grupo, no? Yung sa developing a culture of kulturang Kristiyanong patungo sa pakikipag-kapwa. Ano bang mga concrete na pwede natin magawa? Lalo na yung mga kabataan natin. So, I think that would be the framework, the structure of our activities in the following week. Thank you.
Amazing. So, kung meron kayong questions, kung interested kayo, pwede kayo mag-message sa ating Facebook group, Bukal ng Tipan. Yan. So, maraming salamat po ulit sa inyo, Brother Tagoy. Tapos, see you again, Father Rene, sa susunod nating
Okay,
episode.
see you.